you let me love you forever, forever? I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, 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 day.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday, guys. Welcome to TMW Online. I'm Linda. That is Abby. We are back. You know, you guys know how it goes. We life, but we always are covering our shows. We are doing all things 90 Day Fiance The Other Way. We are on episode. We're in I did it again. Y'all, I just literally landed. I'm a loco. Season 7, episode 9. No mas. I wanted to take a minute to talk about Miss Amazing Abby. I'm going to tell you why she's amazing and why you need to have friends that are like this, true friends, and friends that support whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. So as you guys know, I am rebranding 90 Day the Melanated Way into TMW Online. So it encompasses all of the things that I do, which includes celebrity interviews, red carpets, reality TV with 90 Day Fiance. But there's also like a clothing brand, merch brand. There's a podcast. There is, what else do I have? There's a subscription base. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm traveling and I take a minute to look at my emails and I see this. I was like, wait, what? Because I haven't relaunched yet, right, guys? The website is not, it's soft launch, but it's not up yet. There's a lot that we have to do. Still, but I'm hoping to have that done by the end of the year. That being said, I was like, it says, congratulations on your first sale with Shopify. And I was like, oh, what? Who? What? And someone had to actually like do a little bit of work and know that there was a Shopify store and purchase something. And that person is, lo and behold, the wonderful Miss Abby.
And why did I think that it wouldn't tell you? I thought I was going to surprise you.
Listen, that is not how it works. So I was like, oh, what? Let me look at this more. And you picked one of my favorite items. So as you guys know, Nafisa is one of my favorite characters of all time of 90 Day Fiance. And Abby purchased a bag that I do. That is basically, if you guys remember, the favorite infamous line, bring me my red makeup bag, or bring me my bag with my red, whatever it is. That is my favorite line, and that's what the bag has, and it has like a little lipstick thing on it. And so, Abby, I just want to say, because I've been talking about this a lot, there are a lot of people that don't support, really. You know, they'll support a major celebrity superstar, but they don't support people that they know or that they, you know, they're friends with or whatever. So you're a true blue and I really appreciate you. And I just want to take a minute to shout you out. And, you know, they do this. The fancy kids do this nowadays.
You guys, I was going to just show up with the bag and be like, look what I got. In my head, why didn't I think to just use a fake email address or something? I don't know what I was thinking. I saw it and was like, oh my God, I'm going to surprise her.
You surprised me.
Idiot.
So I can't wait to get it. And I can't wait for people to see it because they're really cute. So thank you. You're the best of the best.
Thank you. No, I mean, you guys, Linda encouraged me from day one. I don't know if you guys remember all the way back when, Ray Della, you probably do. I was just like, hey, I want to come on and talk about some immigration stuff. Like, hey, I'm starting this business working for myself and I use 90 Day to talk about immigration. And Linda was one of the only people who responded of the giant creators that I contacted, I said one of the only, no, you are the only one who responded. So it's mutual.
Listen,
Somebody who helps you get it out the mud. You always support people who helped you.
you. I
And
really
also I wanted that bag.
love it. Yay. So that being said, let's just jump right into it, you guys. Abby, overall thoughts of this episode, because I have some thoughts before we get started.
So this episode, I was reflecting a lot on parenting. I thought there were a lot of things that came up for me to be like, okay, as a person who's now raising an adult and like officially an adult, what are some things that I want to do in these parenting situations? I mean, like before we had Luke speaking to his father, and I kind of thought, what do you do when you have a child who's not launching very well, or they're not making very good financial decisions? But this one had like even more parenting things. I make everything about me. I always look at it and I'm like, what would I do? How would I feel about that? How would I manage that as a parent? Whatever. So that's what this episode brought a lot of for me.
For me, I was like, oh, 1 hour and we're only covering 3 couples. We're really stretching this out. Like, what's happening right now? But on the flip side, you guys, I do talk about how I would love that they got more in depth with the couples and their backstories and all of that. So maybe that's what's happening, and I'm not really seeing it quite yet, but I feel like that's the direction they're going. But either way, there's only 3 couples that we talk about in episode 9. And first and foremost is, oh Lord, is that the other person again? Is the hater back?
I don't know if that address is the same, but I don't even know what they're saying.
Neither do I. It's so weird. What up, Dominic? Ray Della. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
Johnny and Chloe. And of course, Michelle. So Chloe's been in Aruba for 1 week, and her mom is on the way to visit to make sure that, her baby girl is okay, is safe, all the things. And, she apparently, according to Chloe, Michelle has really high standards. Obviously, she's, a rich white lady who runs. So she's expecting big things. Now, the thing is that I thought was funny, Abby, that she says a little bit later, but I'm going to bring it up now, is that Michelle has been there. She's met Johnny. She knows like all the things, but she's never been to his house. And I was going to ask you and you guys in the chat, what are your thoughts on that? Like, she's come multiple times, but she stays like wherever, Airbnb or wherever she stays, but never has gone to the house. Isn't that a bit odd?
Well, Chloe said that too. I thought it was even odd when Chloe said that when she comes to visit, she stays at the hotel and Johnny just comes to her. They always go out to eat. So this is her first time staying at his house as well. I was wondering, he told us that his mom passed away, but I couldn't remember when it was, because my first thought was, is it because his mom was there previously and that's why Chloe wasn't there? But if it's not, if she had passed long before that, I think it's really weird, because one of the best ways that you can get to know somebody is to see their environment. So I would have thought, as a parent, if my child is in a relationship with someone and we're in their home country, I would say, oh, I'd love to see the neighborhood they live in, if not exactly their house. Even I would just be like, I want to see the real Aruba.
Yeah.
The off-resort Aruba. Take us to your favorite restaurant. Take us to where you went to school.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's kind of, I've had this feeling up until this episode that we weren't really meeting any born and bred Arubans until we went to the car dealership. And so I was like, is that what's also happening here? That Johnny's mom is someone who just retired to Aruba? But
I think
yeah.
I think so. You're 100% on the money, because when he said that he had met Michelle multiple times, not only in Aruba but in Boston, I was like, that's a new twist as well, right? Because we don't often see the other person traveling to America at all. He's been to Boston, so you can infer whatever you want with that, but I'm sure he's been to her house, been to her business, she's taking them out, all of that stuff. So I also don't think that, and remember I said this in the first episode that we met him, I don't think he's a local. I think he's a transplant. I think he's,
Yeah, same.
yeah. So we find out that he actually has a really good relationship with her. And I think that everything that Abby just said about him losing his mom and her possibly being like a surrogate mom plays into all of that. They have a good relationship. So they're going to pick her up at the airport. And, you know, Michelle's concerns, which again is confusing to me, you guys, because she's been there multiple times, is, you know, what amenities does Johnny have? Is his neighborhood safe? You didn't think about these things before your daughter moved there? Right?
Yeah,
So it
that's
goes into
odd.
what you were saying about parenting. Like, you've been here I'm not a parent yet, but if I was a parent and I went down to see, you know, who my kid is dating, that's the first, where do you live? Let me make you some dinner. Let me do something. I'll bring something. We can all sit down and have a festive meal and figure it out. But you're now, just after you've gone a few times, he's come to Boston, this is the first time you're actually going to see where he lives. Is that weird or what, Abby?
Very.
Yeah, it's weird. So, second time we hear that the mom's very particular, but if you were really that particular, possibly you would have checked this out.
Investigated.
Uh-huh.
Unless she, like we, knows that this really is not going to be long lasting.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So she talks about her trip. Flight there was great. There was no one beside her in first class. First world problems. They are driving to Johnny's house. They think they hear gunshots, you guys. I like rolled my eyes. And the first thing she asked, not, hey, my daughter who's sitting in the backseat, are you okay? She says, is my luggage okay? What?
Priorities.
Yeah.
Michelle said priorities.
So they get to the house. You guys, I don't know if you've traveled to any like island, anywhere in the world, but a lot of these, even at considered third world countries, a lot of the beautiful houses that they own are actually really beautiful. And I thought his house from the outside, even from the inside, it's quite cute. And in those standards, I would say he's doing quite well. Like, a lot of people don't own homes like that. And you know, he has all the essentials that one would need. And I thought the house was cute. What were your thoughts when you saw the outside of it, Abby?
I was like, look at this house that is constructed with good, strong materials, and it won't blow over if the wolves puff and try to blow it down. Like a good, because you know, the construction here,
Yeah.
especially when I'm outside of DC, like DC has a lot of old houses, so they are like real brick. But when I'm outside of the district, like the houses are made of like chicken wire.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, T-Bros. I feel like you're new, so welcome. Everyone
Welcome.
say hi. So cute little house. First impression, the mom thinks the house needs a lot of work, and she says that it's giving her bachelor pad vibes. I didn't get those vibes at all. I didn't.
Why would you get those vibes? Because he clearly lived there with his mother.
Oh.
Like the vibe should be, okay, it's a little bit older because it's the style of an older woman.
Yeah.
And she said something that I think people don't even realize is indicative of their own superiority. Like going through the world with your own lens on, that the way you do things is right and the way everybody else does things is wrong or not the right way. She immediately says the knobs on the oven are backwards. They're not backwards. They're just not turning the same direction that you would turn them. but it's this little thing where you can see someone's superiority that they don't even like. It's subconscious. Try to be conscious of when you're feeling that way or see those things, you guys, because it's really important for self-development.
Dear America. So yeah, Michelle doesn't like the spot. It's not where she wants her daughter to live. I think part of that is that she misses her daughter and the control of the whole situation. And they walk through the house, they do this whole closet thing. And one of the things that she didn't catch, as if, wow, this guy's handy. He's handy. So he's gonna build a closet for Chloe, knowing that Chloe needs more closet space. But Michelle was like, well, what are you going to do with this cabinet? And what am I going to do with all these clothes that you asked me to bring? Because there's more to come. I was like, did you miss? Because, you know, in 2025, y'all, there are not a lot of manly men that can do a lot of manly, you know, stereotypical manly things.
Exactly.
Change a tire, build a house, build a cabinet. You know what I mean?
You guys, I went to Advanced Auto Parts because my battery was dead in my car. And do you know the man asked me if I could open the hood? He didn't know how to open the hood. Like I popped it, but he didn't know how to let the latch go to open it. And then I opened the hood. My car is 2009, so I still have like an engine cover. And he was just like, how do I get to the engine? I'm like, oh my God. So I had to pop the hood and open the engine cover for him. At this point, I'm like, should I just put my own new battery in?
That, or should he be paying you? Like, what the hell? So yeah, you guys, it's the little things. I don't know if you know anyone that knows how to build a cabinet or a closet, but that's a big deal. So mom doesn't like that. Doesn't like the fact that, you know, we talked about this, the hot water. So they don't necessarily have a hot water container. Because it gets hot enough outside, so the temperature is enough for them. So many houses don't have a hot water tank. And the mom was like, oh no, I need 89 degrees, a specific. I was like, I shower multiple times a day, actually, sometimes, you guys. I don't know what temperature my shower is. There a little like component where you just like, oh, turn my shower to 89 degrees. Probably rich people problems.
I don't know. Like I figured that was I've never owned a home thing, so I've never paid attention to a hot water heater.
Yeah, me too. Because I was like, is that something? Can I wake up in the morning and put the exact temperature I want my shower to be at? Because that would be amazing.
Hey, Becca Kitty Meow. We love having you.
Hey, girl. Hey. So mom's unimpressed. And she thinks that, like Abby was saying, that reality is going to set in for Chloe. And this is not going to be it. Because Chloe, in her word, quote, likes the nicer things in life, end quote.
Right.
So she thinks that the novelty is going to wear off really quickly. And when they looked into the bathroom and in the shower, and the mom was like, oh, is that bar soap? Are you using bar soap now? With that like peasant mentality, I was like, oh, this.
You know what that reminded me of? The whole soap situation. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with bar soap. But it reminded me of Henry VIII. This is okay. Just walk with me, you guys. I know this is really bizarre, but one of Henry VIII's wives died right after childbirth, right? And they found out that the reason why she died was because she had an infection. Why did she have an infection? Because the doctor's hands were dirty. And like they were finding that the number of royal women who were dying from infections after birth was much higher than the rate of regular women who didn't have access to doctors. Their babies were born through midwives. And what was the difference between the doctors and the midwives? The midwives were washing their hands. The doctors were not washing their hands because they believed a gentleman's hands can never be dirty. That was a real thing. Like a gentleman's hands can never be dirty, right? And so there was this idea that because I'm rich, that I'm automatically better, cleaner. And And to the detriment of these women kept dying because the men refused to wash their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the whole bar soap comment reminded me of. Also, she's white, and they're just kind of dirty sometimes.
You're not wrong. I mean, you guys already know that conversation about how often do you shower in a week, and some people don't shower daily. Like, I'm not going to get into it because you all know how I feel about it. But yeah. And the second thing is, you know, this is just me speaking, but a good Dove bar soap will do you well. Like, they clean oil spills when the birds are out there. They use a Dove bar soap. And a Dove bar soap, I'll tell you, I have an older cousin who swears by it. If I showed you guys a picture of her, you would think that she's not as old as she is. And that's all she's only ever used Dove bar soap her whole body. She doesn't have a wrinkle on her face. And that woman is like older.
Yeah.
That being said, don't be afraid of a good bar soap.
Yeah, don't be afraid. I have one last thing to say that I noticed about Chloe's mom in terms of parenting. She didn't have anything good to say. She was a very problem-focused person. I really hope that in my old age that I don't become a person who's always contemplating the next problem. Like, yes, there will be issues that need solving, but I hope that I'm a person who can still be like, oh, this is great, this is good, and recognize the good things as well. Because what a miserable life to be problem focused.
100%. But then I was thinking, do you think that is from her owning a business and having to like see where the problems are so she can have a solution to them? Do you think that could be it too, or no?
I think that maybe it is, but I also think that when you're dealing with your child as a parent, you have to learn how to sandwich. You have to learn how to give praise and kudos because they do want you to be proud of them, I will tell you, when Taylor sent the grades for last semester, is that me wobbling? I hear some background noise. Okay. When Taylor sent me the grades from last semester, in years past, I would have been like, okay, A, B, B, C. I would have been like, why'd you get the C? That would have been my first, comment. But this past semester, I was like, way to go. I know you were really having a hard time with the teacher in the one class that was not giving very clear instructions. And look at you, you pulled an A out of that class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to be what your children need first.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my idea of parenting.
I love that. I love that a lot. Becca has a question. Okay, Linda, but what about those soaps that have exfoliants in them still need a washcloth? Yes, you do. What's it? You guys, you guys know that I have African washcloth. It's not a cloth, but it's like
the net sponge thing.
And it exfoliates your skin all day, every day. That's why, you think I have soft skin. Hello. Yes, Becca. Yes, girl.
Becca, get the gloves. I love the gloves. And you can work your way up to a net because you do have to have some technique to use the net.
And so I grew up with the net. Yeah, I grew up with the net, so I know all about it. And I have one at my place. I have one at the family house. My brother, I have one at all this. Anywhere I stay, that's where it's going. And, don't talk to me about traveling because that's a whole other thing. I will always have soft and exfoliated skin, folks. So the mom is like, yeah, this is not it, but here we are. And Chloe's committed to staying there, but she doesn't want to live there with no car. So she wants a car so that she can get a job is what she's saying. And I was like, again, that is such a privileged mentality. Because first of all, I'll tell you. So when I relocated, I didn't have a car. I took the bus everywhere, and
Same.
I I'm happy to do that because guess what? It made me learn the city. It made
Hmm.
me learn what streets. It made me find cool spots, all the things, and it also helps with independence, helps with planning. It helps with time management. Like there are so
Hmm.
many things that go along with taking public transit, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I have friends who are grown women and men who've never gotten a driver's license because they live in a walkable city. They live in a city where public transit can get them anywhere they need to be. So that why get a car? Why get a driver's license? Because I can get around the city. So that mentality was a little shocking to me, Abby, because I was like, so she needs to first buy a car before she has the means to pay for such car. But oh, the means is there because Michelle's popped in. So they go car shopping. And I was just like, this is spoiled girl energy. That's the vibe that I was getting. What are your thoughts?
Number one, I was like, how are you allowed to work? I haven't heard you talk about applying for any kind of work permit. How are you allowed to drive? Like, what process are you going through to allow you to own a car locally, drive a car locally, and work locally? Those were my first questions. And then my other questions were, how do you develop community if you're not willing to be a part of the community and use public transportation? Um, Same as you. When I was in Mexico, I had to learn the bus routes, which was very difficult because they're actually not published. um, Learn the bus routes, um, and learn the neighborhoods. I had to learn how to talk to my taxi drivers when I used a taxi. I got a few times because of not knowing what was going on, but I knew that going into it, like there's going to be a little bit of scammy here and there because I don't know everything.
Yeah.
Just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
And that's how you become a part of your community, and that's how you learn the language.
Yeah.
That's how you learn the local slang. We've got all the way to this episode without really ever talking about what it is to be an Aruban person, you know. And
I
she hasn't said a word about trying to learn the language either. You guys, if you're watching this, you would think that in Aruba they just speak English. They don't.
yeah. Oh. Okay, James. I was thinking, when you traveling and you rent a car and you rent with the current license, I think that she hasn't done any research into what it takes to actually be a local driver. So she thinks that she's going to be able to just drive because she has a American driver's license. And the fact that she thinks that she's going to get a used car. Johnny is the one that led us astray because he's like, oh yeah, between $2,000 and $3,000.
Yeah, where did
Y'all,
you get that number from?
they get there. First of all, Chloe usually rents a car when she's there, and it's about $600 US a month. So she's thinking that's a lot to spend every month. So she's going to get a car for $3K. Her mama's going to pay for her. She gets there, you guys. And the first car that they look at is 25.7 Banflons, which is roughly 14,000 US. Small compact car. But Chloe, she likes this classic, it looked like a late 1980s model Mercedes two-door car. And that one was 50,000 Ban Florins, which is roughly 28,000 American dollars. And I started laughing because some of you may or may not know. One of the things that I do know a lot about is shipping cars. One of the things before my dad passed, that's what he would do, from Canada to Ghana. And it's a whole process, you guys. So the process is you're going to buy and sell cars. You're going to get the cars at auctions. You're going to buy them used. And you don't just get one car and ship it. You get multiple cars, and it can take a month. It can take 6 months. It can take up to a year. And you stack them in the containers. And then the containers have to travel from wherever you are to wherever your sending that. So in this case, from Canada to Ghana, that takes time. It's going to take like at least a month to get there, right? So you, the person that are waiting for your car, you might have bought your car in January. You may not get your car until September. That's how it works. Because even once it gets there, each car has to pass inspection. They have to go through the dock workers. They have to make sure that they're not a stolen car. The whole thing. It's a whole thing. And here's the kicker. That all takes money, right? So you guys thinking like, wow, a little car like that is $14,000 and it's used? Yes, because you have to take in all of the costs to actually get it to an island. To get it to an island is expensive. So that's why cars on islands are very, very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So her thinking and Johnny thinking, show me the $2,000 car. Show it to me, please.
Johnny had to be talking about like somebody who's selling their car themselves, like in their front yard, because that didn't even make sense for me, not knowing anything as much as you know about cars. That price didn't even make sense to me.
Show me the car. That being said, the mom's like, listen, I'm not funding this. I'm cutting you off. I'm not paying for a car. I don't see what plan you have in order to like make this life work. And, you know, what's the reality? And she's like, well, I'll just rent a car for now and figure it out from there. She's like, well, I still don't see a plan. And I'm not going to continue to finance for you to live on this island. Since you've been coming here, I've spent at least $20,000 sending you money. And that's not realistic and it's not sustainable. And the mom is feeling not valued for her contributions to this little get up that Chloe's in. And Chloe had full on white girl tantrum. I was shocked. I was like, oh, there she is. Mama said no. And all of a sudden, this trust fund situation is problematic for you. Wow. Like your mom just literally landed and you were taking her car shopping because you want a car, because you need a car in order to get a job. Well, that's not true. Crazy. Do you want to add anything else before we move on to Luke and Madeline?
No, I said everything that was on my list for Chloe. Let's jump into Luke and Madeline, where me and Linda are forever disagreeing.
Facts. Luke is feeling defeated. You know, he's not ready to give up on this relationship, air quotes. And so he's asked Madeline to meet him at a park so they can talk about their relationship. And she's like, you know what? I'm not ready to forgive him, but I need to be available to him and be civil with him because we have multiple businesses together. So, you know, that she has a shop and then they're going to do this, not Airbnb, but hotel situation. And so she's invested in both of those. Okay, I'll leave it there for a second. He wants to be with her. She doesn't believe him, and she doesn't think sorry is enough. She's so mad still about this stripper thing. And you guys, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. He had a friggin' bachelor party. I just don't see what the big deal is. Some of you guys have reached out to me and said, oh, what about this? What about that? Listen, don't get married if you're so jealous that your partner can't have a party to celebrate the fact that they're marrying you. Just don't do it. That's my personal opinion. I'm 10 toes deep, whatever, into it. That's my stance on it. So no chance of getting back together, she says, because that night out is just not sitting well with her at all. And he is now saying that night out cost him his relationship. You want to jump in before I go ahead?
No, go ahead.
So she approaches Luke and says, listen, we have these businesses together. We wouldn't have these businesses if it wasn't for me because I've made the deals. I know the contracts, et cetera, et cetera. So these properties, they call them, excuse me, she wants to make sure that she's on the title of them because it's her business too, as far as she's concerned. And he's like, well, okay, I want to be with you. So if it means adding you that we can back together, then, I will do that. And she's like, yeah, no, there's no relationship. This is strictly about the business. If we're together, it only means we'll see what happens. So that means there's no sex, there's no relationship. We're just seeing what happens. That's what she's saying. At the end of the day, it's really about the business. And if something changes, I'll let you know. My personal opinion on this is that it was always about the business and the money and getting established by the supposed sugar daddy from America. And I think that she's smart. She's smart. She's like, hey, he's using me for my youth, my looks, my body, the trophy wife, all the things. I'm going to use him for his money and to establish myself as my own businesswoman. I'm going to buy my own apartment. I'm going to run my own business. Yeah, he can be my partner because he's the initial investor, but I don't think she really ever wanted to be with him. And having an out, she took the out. That's my opinion. Your opinion?
I don't know if she really wanted to be with him or not. I don't know that she has the capability of making that kind of decision absent survival, because she's been on her own for so long. So if she gets older and says, I was only with Luke because I needed some financial stability, I would completely understand that. But I don't know in her decision making right now if she can even parse those things out, because her life's been about survival for so long. But I will say, let's take this back to the top. What did Amphisa say when she got mad at George? George said, oh, you wouldn't be with me if I didn't have any money. And she said, and you wouldn't be with me if I was ugly. So I don't know why there is this negativity associated with women using the same things that women get used for. So if that's what she's doing, good for her, because I wasted my youth and my skinny little waist on love.
Okay, girls, weigh in. I love this. Weigh in. Becca says he's using her to reclaim his glory years that never happened in high school. It's totally survival for her.
And if it is just survival for her, then what a smart cookie, except for one tiny detail. Always get a contract when you go into business with somebody, no matter what your personal relationship is with that person, get a contract.
Listen, y'all, get a contract. If you let someone come and stay at your house and they don't live there and they have nowhere else to go, make sure you have some type of rental. Always get a contract, even if they're, your baby daddy, whoever, because people be running amok. This homosexual thing is wild. Have you heard about this?
Oh, absolutely. It's the colder it gets outside, the more desperate men will get to try to get into your apartment. I had one ask me directly. I was sitting at the bar by myself. This is several years ago, before the term homosexual got coined. And he straight out was like after maybe exchanging 2 sentences, was like, yeah, I'm on hard times right now. I'm between places. And I was like, what? Like, what is going on? The bartender was looking out, though. The bartender was like, hey, man, you see she's reading the book? Leave her alone. But yeah, that's before the term homosexual came out, but it's a real thing. And you know what? You'll live, and unfortunately, you'll find some of your friends who fall into it. No, let me tell you. Oh, guys, I have one quick story. There's this guy, we were arguing because he's Republican, and he's real like, pull yourself up by your own boot.
Oh, wait, you timed out. Maybe it's me. I'm not sure if you can hear me, Abby.
I can hear you. Am I still gone?
Oh, you're good. You're good back.
I'm good. One quick story. He's Republican. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, except I know something about him. I know that he got his first job by getting certificates like on the computer of different like computer programs and stuff while he was using somebody else's laptop. Okay. He pretended to be interested in this woman so that he would have access to her laptop. He used her laptop to get all these different little C++ certificate programs. I don't know a whole lot about computer programming, but he did it. And then boom, as soon relationship over, he got the job, and now he's all like, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. And I was like, but you got a certificate off of that woman, didn't you? He blocked me.
Reality. Some people don't, that altered truth is unbelievable to me. But I'll tell you this, it couldn't be me, you guys. It couldn't be me. You better have somewhere to go. And I need to see where you live first before just no.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how we got to the spiritual cleanse. So we went from a walk in the park to, hey, I'm going to do the spiritual cleanse. So Madeline is driving him to the market where the spiritual cleanse lady is. Madeline thinks it's a stupid idea. Dumb idea is her words. She's Catholic. She doesn't believe in witchcraft and all this stuff. And when they get there, this would have been me, you guys. Why are you involving me in this? This is your idea. You go ahead. I'll actually be in the car. I want no business in this. But she's like, why are you inviting? Like, why am I involved in this? But she is. And the lady asks, what's the cleanse need to be? And she talks about the strippers and his bad economic decisions. And so she wants this lady to cleanse Luke all over. The lady's like, are you sure? And this is the part that is scary to me, because she's like, are you sure? Because if you go back, you can get physically sick and other ailments. Oh Lord, what's happening? All I see, you guys, is they face each other and there's smoke and chants and cucarachas all over the place. The woman says she's focusing more on a spiritual. What are you looking at and laughing at? Because I said cucarachas? Abby? Oh, I think I lost her again.
Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
Is there a different word for the shaker things than because it isn't cucarachas?
I'm sure there is another word. I don't know. I can't.
Maracas.
Yeah, cucarachas. Yes, Abby, you're right. Cucarachas. Y'all knew. You guys know how I am. I make stuff up. So they're focusing on the sexual cleanse part of it. And the woman talks a lot about, and I believe this, and we could talk a lot about this as well, but any partner you have romantically, their partners get imprinted in the energies that you bring. I actually believe that. I think that, that's not something to mess around with when you're like running amok in these streets. So, practice safe sex, y'all. Abby, you're frozen again, just so you know. And so she's doing this to cleanse his energies, past partners. Because if you don't do that, she says that it doesn't let the new couple have an adequate life together. And Madeline's not having it. She's like, oh, this is not for me. She's like, ugh. Meanwhile, the spiritual cleanser says that Luke, I died of laughter, Luke is very dirty. And when she moved her hand around the area, y'all, she's like, oh, very dirty. Inhale love and exhale the dirtiness. Hilarious to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do this exercise, but I do believe that your relationships alter your brain function and your brain chemistry, and they come into your next relationship in unexpected ways if you don't deal with all of that.
100%. I would not do any of
Mhm.
this stuff because I also think that we don't talk about the fact that you have a third party and you don't know what that person's history is, and then they're pushing all that energy. No, thank you. Nope. And then also, they do this all day, every day. So they're gathering everyone's stuff. And then there's like, power. No, thank you. Nope. Um, so then Luke is like, well, what about Madeline? Like, what's happening over there? And the woman's like, yeah, no, this negative, dirty energy is just you. Just
Just
you,
you.
Joel. Just you. I laughed again. Um, then they have to do like a spiritual chant to each other. I give myself to you, body and soul. Today, Luke is now a clean man. That's what he had to say. And I was like, ooh, that's weird.
But he wanted to do it, so okay.
So they're also in all of that, you guys. So there's the smoke, the cucarachas, the chanting. There's some red and white thread that they're all wrapped around. There was a lot going on, you guys. And it was a little too much for me. I was like, what is happening? Like, what is this? What is happening here? But that's what happened. And now Luke's loyalty is only supposed to be for Madeline. And she's like, yeah, this didn't work for me. I can't stop thinking about him touching a stripper. I died of laughter. Do you want to add anything to these two?
No, that's it for them.
Last couple for this episode, Manon and Anthony. The mom is monitoring Manon's drinks, which I think is crazy because she is a full-on grown adult. Plus, she's also someone else's mama. So, like, what? Like, and she's, she's lived abroad. Why are we doing this? It's just also taking me back to like all the things she said about what her parents have done to her in the past and that trauma that she carries. But that was what Sabrina was doing. Manon is chilling. She's ordering another drink, and they're like, "You want a virgin drink?" She's like, "No, I didn't say that. Well, who's bringing that up?" And she is going to also take the opportunity to talk to her auntie Christina because she's had beef with her in the past. Apparently there was a he said, she said situation, and they stopped talking. So she's like, let me just go over there and talk to her and bury this, right? So she goes over, she's like, are you enjoying the food and the restaurant? And this is her aunt's response was like, oh, she's bitter Betty. So she might not be ready to let this feud go because she's like, oh, well, Carrie Amber, I might be saying it wrong. You guys correct me if I am, was a bit hard. So it wasn't good.
I think that's the cheese, right?
Yeah. Am I saying
Yeah.
that right?
Oh, I don't know how to say it, but I had to guess at what it was.
Yeah, it's a cheese. I just don't know if I'm saying it right. I was like, oh, so with all the food on all the table, you want to focus on the one thing you didn't like. Gotcha. Okay. When people show up and show you who they are, believe them, you guys. Believe them. Just like how Abby mentioned Chloe's mom, Michelle, and only seeing the negative stuff. Like, pay attention to that stuff, you guys, because it says a lot about what you're bringing into your life, what type of energy and people you're bringing into your life, and also their outlooks on the world. And it could be just temporary, but it also could be this is how they live. This is how they believe life is. So on the flip side, so we've got Auntie Christina, who is negative Betty. Then we have Marie, the sister, and she's looking over like what's Manon doing because she's afraid that they're going to get in an argument. And then goes off to say that Manon can be explosive and doesn't keep anything to herself and just says whatever she wants, whether it hurts or not, and says that, she just says what she thinks. And I was like, So, what is your take on that before I go into it? What's your take?
I was having a hard time determining, is the family dynamic that Manon doesn't want to sweep things under the rug, that everyone else is willing to just let go? And so because she chooses to talk about these things, that's why she has this reputation for being big or explosive? Or is the family dynamic that people are constantly wronging Manon and she takes it, and then explodes when she can't take it anymore? I'm having a hard time.
You froze a bit. So you're saying you're having a hard time figuring out what the dynamic is?
Exactly. Because just when she goes to speak to Aunt Christine, you see how they all have a negative reaction to that immediately. What's wrong with her just going to speak to her aunt? So I was like, what is the dynamic happening here?
And my take on it is, as someone that is a very direct talker, I can see how sometimes people who don't like directness look at it as confrontation, look at it as you're being explosive and loud, even if you're not even raising your voice, you're just speaking truth and matter of fact. A lot of people live in Delulu land, and they do not want to be corrected. B, they don't want to act like they don't know something. C, they don't want to be confronted by anything because their way is the only way. And so my vibe on this is, why do you automatically think that she's going to do wrong? She's also lived abroad, so she's had life and world experience. She's not the same person, none of us are, that she was last year or the year before because she's grown, she's gotten married, she's got a kid, she's run a business. So how do you know that she's the same person that's showing up that you have mentally made her? You got to allow people to grow, and you got to allow people to be who they are. Just because you don't do it that way or you wouldn't approach it that way doesn't mean it's the wrong approach. And the fact that they continue to make it like she is this crazy, over the top, explosive personality, I hate that. I hate that for them, and I hate that for her. And also, too, one last thing on my TED Talk is, a woman can be strong and smart and powerful and be able to walk into a room and express herself directly, and it doesn't have to make her all the things. Because guess what? Men do it every single day, and no one says, oh, you're explosive. Oh, you say things and you don't know who your feelings you're hurting. You see how men interact with each other? Say crazy things and no one takes it personal. But as soon as a woman says the same thing, oh, you're explosive. I hate that for y'all. I hate that for us. Let's just do better and be better.
Right.
So Manon hasn't spoken to a long time to her Aunt Christina, but wanted to tell her, hey, you know what? Let's squash things. I'm happy you're here. I'm glad you came. And the aunt says, like, me too. And, despite everything, let's just fresh start it. Past in the past, clean slate, all the things. And you could see by the aunt's face, she was surprised. And B, she did not accept. Like, I don't think that she wanted to clean slate anything.
No, it felt like to me she came to be nosy, but then I also was like, you don't know the culture, so you don't know, and you don't know Christine, so you don't know what exactly her face means. But interpreting it under my understanding of body language, it did not seem like she was receptive.
She was not perceptive, girl. Nope. Nope. But Manon feels like everyone is staring at her, and so she feels like a little bit of pressure. It's like they're expecting her to do something that's incorrect. And she's like, what's going on? Because her immediate family is assuming that she's starting something when really she's quashing something.
Mm-hmm.
And her feedback was she feels that they make her feel that she can never do anything right, which goes into what you were saying about what is that family dynamic? Like, is she considered the black sheep of the family? And so therefore they automatically are thinking she's going to be the worst and do the worst without giving her an opportunity to show that she can do the best. I don't know. So family pulls her aside. Mom and dad corner her, which I thought was a really, because they were at a baby baptism celebration. So is this the time? And I don't know. You guys tell me time and place. Don't know, because it shouldn't be about the baby, but the mom and the dad corner her outside. And the mom is like, you know what? I don't care about anyone else. I just care about your sister. And, you are making her feel uncomfortable. This is her family too. And then Manon's like, what? I just took some time to thank everyone for coming out. And now you're looking at how my drinks, you're looking at who I'm talking to. And says, Manon's like, I don't understand what's wrong. What did I do wrong in this situation? And the family didn't really answer. They're like assuming that as she was talking to everyone, she was creating drama. So they automatically, without even knowing what she said to the others, think that she's creating drama. And therefore, Marie feels like, hey, you know what? You're creating drama. This is my family too. It's affecting me. And I don't like it. Okay. I'm not a parent, so I'm going to defer this over to a parent, but I am a sibling. And so as a parent, I would think that you would get child A's version and child B version, and somewhere in between, the truth is there.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't give Manon an opportunity to say what her side was, because there was not even a side, because she had done nothing. You just took daughter's side, who has obviously lived there with you, didn't go abroad, all the things, and assumed that again Manon is the bad black sheep of the family. Why is that?
Right. When her sister is not even reacquainted with her. Remember she made her sister godmother just because they hadn't had a close relationship. But what I think is actually hilarious, well, it's not hilarious. It's like, this is not how you should raise kids, is that whenever me and my sisters would fight, my mom would never actually mediate the fight. She would just start hollering that she misses her own mom and we're going to be really sad when she goes on to glory and we don't have her anymore. And like the guilt trip would just be so strong we would stop arguing.
It worked.
So I don't know. I mean, like, when I see things like this, I feel like the parents didn't do a very good job of helping the siblings get along with each other.
Yeah. And I feel like they also may need to get reacquainted with their adult daughter. So Manon's fed up with her sister Marie, and she's like, okay, well, if she doesn't want to talk to her anymore, then that's on her. She's okay with it. Like, it is what it is. The dad says to Manon that she needs to talk to her sister more calmly. You can't get people upset all the time. You're too explosive. You're too defensive. You have no ability to talk. Parents want to protect Marie at all costs. And Manon's response to that, and I felt very sad in that moment for her, is that they're opening the gates to all her past trauma. And time does not heal all trauma, you guys, because everywhere you go, there you are. You have to deal with the trauma not only that has been imposed on you, right? So you have to heal for yourself, but then the people that created that trauma for you, that relationship has to heal. You can't just leave it, heal yourself, and walk back into the same traumatic situation. It hasn't changed. So I felt sad for her because, again, they haven't gotten to know their adult daughter, who is also now a mother. So, right, there's a whole cyclical thing that can happen here if you don't break the chains of trauma. That being said, instead of, hey, let me get to know our daughter, let's sit down and share a meal and talk through this. You're not going to talk it all out in one day, but at least that's a step. They go right back to all the things that she may or may not have been in the past. And that's unfortunate to me.
It is unfortunate. I think that it would be a good idea for her to introduce some family therapy.
Facts. I like this quote, or what Becky's saying here. She said, I've heard that people will often think of you from the time in which they had the most power over you, and that's how it sounds for this family. They're convinced she's still a child. It's a good comment. Thank you, Becca, for sharing. Dad goes on to tell Manon that she should be careful in what she says. She should think first. If you don't want to hurt people, he goes on to say, you don't want to upset people. And you know what? Maybe you should also change your character. What?
All of this when they have no idea what she actually said to Christine.
That part. Are you trying to know your child?
It doesn't sound like they are.
It doesn't sound like it. Manon explains to them, you know what? I never had these problems in LA. And this is my own note, because I feel like this is also something that women have to deal with. I personally am sick of hearing the stereotype that when you're a plus size woman, that comes with you're loud, you're obnoxious, you're like the life of the party because you're like just like the fat girl entertainment. No, let's not put all these stereotypes on. She's already a woman, right? Plus size, which is beautiful, all shapes and sizes, but there are certain stereotypes that come with every type of woman that you are. It's amazing. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Abby, she cut out. We're almost done, so I'll wait for her to come back. But you guys, if you're in the live chat or you're watching the replay, holla at your girls. Let us know what you think about all the things. What do you think about the stereotypes that are still out there in 2025 for women? The stereotypes on plus size women, stereotypes of people who, women specifically, who stand up for themselves. Let us know in the live chat. Let us know in the replay. Hey, pieces. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
We're almost done. I was just shouting out the live chat, and I was saying, what are your feelings about stereotypes for all type of women? Do you want to add anything before we wrap this episode?
No, what you said about Manon is right on. So this family, it might ultimately be a great thing that she's come back to France and she can work out all these things if they're open to it. But they've got to be open to understanding the ways in which the family system has made her into a scapegoat.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what the next episodes look like for her. In the meantime, you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Support your friends. Support. Oh,
thank you, pieces.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, Olivia.
You guys, if we don't see you before American Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. Eat lots, be merry, and we will absolutely see you soon. Last words to you, Abby.
We'll see you on Monday. Bye bye.